in 3, 2, 1.
Stem cells? Aren't those controversial? In your time, yes. But nowadays, shut up.
All right, something weird just happened. That's weird.
The morning stream. Did you say dick cream? Because I sure didn't just now.
Good morning and welcome to TMS. It is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. Oh, it's a 2222 again.
Ooh, look at that. 2222.
Excellent.
Wow.
And if you take 11 and you times it by 2, you get 22.
That's right. But why would you do that?
You wouldn't.
I mean, couldn't you multiply any number by any number any day and make them all the same? But
That's true.
Hey, revel in the fact that we've got a 2222.
Yeah, enjoy your 2222, everybody, because it's about to be a 23. That's just how that'll work tomorrow. So anyway, welcome to the show. It's nice to have you all here. Thanksgiving prep happening. Everybody getting excited for the all the relatives you can't stand, that sort of stuff. Although it sounds like you've got a pretty easy deal.
Easy for us, right? We're not hosting. We're going to two different Thanksgivings on Thursday and Friday. We just have to take stuff. And thanks to the wild animals that grocery shop where we shop, the only size of carrots that Tino's able to find was a ginormous bag. So I think we're going to have to also get some rabbits. I think that's the way it goes.
We ventured out to get a couple of things yesterday at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And they had surprisingly not as much stuff as I thought they would have left this early in the week. Like, I know people wait to the last minute to do all their prep and everything.
Yeah.
But a lot of, like, very key Thanksgiving items were depleted.
Okay.
And
gotcha.
that was a little bit of a bummer. Yeah.
Usually you see that later in the week. You saw it earlier than you expected.
Than I expected, yeah. We also went to Costco, and I got I almost got a big hot dog, Brian. I almost did it.
Do they? I mean, technically it's Costco. Do they have big hot dogs? They don't have your like big Plump Franks. They just have they have their $1.51, and then they have a foot long or something.
I think the $1.51 is as big as it gets, and I think it's
okay.
They have both the pork one and they got a beef one.
That's true, yeah.
And I think they're pretty. I mean, they're okay big, but we decided to get pizza after anyway, so. I was like, I'm not going to eat that.
Nice.
I'll save my appetite for later.
No, I do need to go. I decided, because I was talking about this thing I'm going to with the fryer that people, they fry their turkey, and then on Friday they have what's called Fry Day, where everybody comes over and they bring things to throw into the fryer. I've decided I'm going to make little pumpkin hand pies, and maybe cherry as well for the people who don't like pumpkin. So it's basically going to be, the rollout pre-made Pillsbury pie crust.
Right.
Cut smaller circles of those, fill them with the fillings, either cherry or the pumpkin stuff, fold them over, crimp them with a little cute little fork crimping action, and then toss those in the fryer. And then you've got like a little Hostess pumpkin pie or a Hostess cherry pie kind of thing.
Except good.
Except good, exactly.
Yeah, except not garbage, so that's good.
Yes. The question is, when I go there after TMS today, because that's probably when I'll go there if Tina lets me borrow the car, I'm hoping that those they'll actually have some of those rollout pie crust, because it feels like that is a, if you're making a pumpkin pie and you're lazy, that is your jam, is go there getting the pumpkin or the pie crust rollout things. So we'll see if there's any at the store when I get there. If not, then I'm making my own.
Yeah, why not? Make your own dough. That's what I always say.
I'll use the pasta roller, and I'll roll out the pasta or roll out the dough to an even thickness, cut the circles, boom, boom, boom.
Nice. We saw a guy there that had 3 LG gigantic 4K TVs that he bought.
At the grocery store?
Yeah. No, at the Costco. And why would you buy that? Unless you got like a business and you got a building and you got to have multiple TVs. Hey, we're opening a new bar and grill. We got to have a bunch of TVs in the bar. I could see that. But this just looked like some nice couple. I had a couple of kids with them, and they had 3 of these huge TVs stacked onto their thing.
So like maybe he's reselling them, possibly. Like wait until after. But why would you do it this week, or like today or yesterday, and not wait till Black Friday when you can probably get one at Best Buy for 18 cents.
Yeah, plus there's a good chance the ones he's stacking there are going to be cheaper on Best Buy Friday anyway, or on on Costco's Black Friday.
Because Costco they do a Black Friday. They don't do like a doorbusters come in and
I don't think so, but they have
6
sales
in the morning kind of thing.
They have sales and coupons and all that crap, but I don't think they do. I don't think they go for the full, trample everybody and kill each other thing. But but I don't know. It just seemed odd to me, and they weren't like horribly cheap. They were $2,500 TVs.
Oh wow, okay.
And he just had 3 of them, and I didn't say anything because what am I going to do? I'm all masked up and weird looking as it is.
Yeah, I figure. $2,500. Easily, he could get one for the tenth of that price at Best Buy on Friday. I feel like $250 is a typical giant screen TV price at.
I don't know if they're going to get a 4K UHD thing though.
Well, okay, not for $250, but under $1,000 for sure.
Yeah, I think you could do that. It was a little frustrating though because I saw a TV there that was this year's version of what I bought 2-3 years ago, whatever it's been.
Yeah,
it's like half the price now.
Of course it is.
I hate that.
Yeah, you can't look at stuff like that. Or you can look in and say, well, have I gotten that much enjoyment out of it? Not going to movie theaters.
Right.
Avoiding that crap.
Yeah. I think I have. I think I've gotten my worth out of it for sure. So I'm not complaining. It just, I looked at it and just went, oh, that's a lower price.
I didn't talk about it because obviously it took place before, right after the Anaheim trip, but before COVID week. But we did go see Wakanda Forever and enjoyed it tremendously. Great send-off, great tribute to Chadwick Boseman, but also a very well-done introduction to a character that they had to change quite a bit for the MCU, which is Namor.
Mr. Flappy-Wing Ankle-Wings. Yeah,
Flappy Ankle-Wings. You know what? Didn't bother me at all in the movie like it kind of did the first time I saw that trailer. Like,
Like little snitches from Harry Potter on his legs.
A little bit, yeah, just a little bit.
It's good though, right? Good quality stage. What are we? 4 MCU still? Whatever we are.
Phase 4. Yep, just getting close to the end of Phase 4. I think I can't keep track because they're not doing the big end Avengers movie to wrap every phase up like they were before. It's hard to when you don't have that milestone. It's hard to figure out what freaking phase we're in. Yeah. But we get a couple next to Tina.
Uh-oh.
The maybe one of the worst people we've sat next to, and we've been seated next to some horrible people.
Yeah, this isn't new territory for you guys. You always end up next to some chuckleheads.
We always end up next to some butthole, but this woman. So talking during the previews, having her phone out during the previews. I don't care. That's fine. That's what the previews are for. Get settled,
Sure.
But it also always makes me think like, oh, they're the type that's probably just going to keep their phone going or going to keep talking. And there's if I remember correctly, there's like a little opening segment to the film, and then you get the Marvel, like they've been doing, like the cold open, and then you get the and it shows the Marvel logo all in purple, and woman sitting next to Tina has her phone out, takes a picture of the purple Marvel logo with her phone with the freaking flash on.
Why? Why did she want a picture of the logo? That's a thing you can get anywhere.
I'm sure it was for the likes. I guarantee, because she immediately started doing stuff on her phone, and I'm sure it was that she was posting, I'm at the Black Panther Wakanda Forever, seeing opening night. Woo!
Ew. I don't like that at all. That annoys me. Did you want to say something? Were you tempted to just like lay into Wanda Forever over there?
I was tempted. Tina, more tempted, actually said, hey, could you turn your phone off, please? The light is really, really distracting. And so she turns it off. But then she starts whispering to the person next to her at about this volume.
Great.
And so after like a couple of Tina's like, all right, let's give it a minute. Maybe it'll stop. Nope. Then she starts talking again, or like whispering. And Tina goes, excuse me, could you please stop talking? I'm not talking.
Oh my gosh. I hate everything about this.
This is like Hey Scott, do you need some more ammunition for why you don't go to movie theaters? Can we
this is
provide
it.
you some right now?
Yeah, this is it. So did she end up shutting up, or what happened?
She
there?
did. She did eventually. Yeah, after the I'm not talking, there was a couple little whispery bits, and then she did stop talking. But oh my God, it's if the seats were as comfortable at Alamo Drafthouse, where they take zero, where they like have a zero chance policy. If you screw up, you are out. It's not like
get out of there.
one more warning and you gotta leave.
Mm.
If the seats were as comfortable at the Alamo Drafthouse, I think we would just switch our membership over there, because there's one that's kind of close by, but
What's wrong with the seats? They're just old style or something?
just not as comfortable as they're more upright.
I thought their whole thing was like fancier seats or something. I guess I had that wrong in my head. I thought they were the ones that
fancier than old movie theater seats, but AMC's got these big padded recliner things that, the right kind of movie, Scott, and I've got a good nap going. If it's got Fantastic Beasts in the title, Scott, then I'm getting a good afternoon's sleep.
Yeah,
is what's happening in that AMC.
That might bring me back to theaters, just to know that I'll have this huge bed to myself. That's funny that she'd yell, "I'm not talking." Literally,
exactly.
when your wife says talking, she's not talking about volume. It doesn't matter anyway.
Exactly.
You're whispering so loud. You're communicating.
Talking in this case includes whispering.
Yeah, you're communicating. You're talking to another human being. They understand the words you're saying. That's talking.
Right. And Tina's not about to say, could you stop whispering, please?
Yeah,
it's like,
stop whispering
talking
loudly.
Yeah, talking includes whispering.
Yeah, that's lame. I would be... Ugh, this whole thing's irritating me. But it was good. but the movie's good. You walked away going,
enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I'm going to say I was surprised that there wasn't an end credits stinger. There's a mid credits stinger.
Oh, no end deal.
No end credits.
Is that usually? That's almost always they do that.
Yeah, usually they've got both, right? They've got a mid credits thing and then an end credits thing. They have for the last last couple phases. It started out just being an end credits thing, and then they said, we've got two things we want to reveal. How about we do one in the middle and one at the end? And
Sure.
in this case, just one in the middle. But it was still good. It was very poignant. It was very touching. I stand as a fan of Wakanda Forever.
Oh, very nice. I was just trying to see how it. Audience scores through the roof. 84%, which is pretty good. What did the original get? Let's see. 2018.
Probably 90 something. I think that was so.
Oh, 96. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's 10 points one way or the other. It's fine.
Exactly.
Sounds like it's probably just as good.
For those of you who really wanted to see Black Adam in theaters last week, don't worry. It's going to be on HBO Max either today or next Tuesday. It's like either.
Oh, it's that soon? Really?
That's soon. Yes.
Holy shit! It made good money in theaters. I thought they'd leave it there longer. I thought they'd do it like the Maverick. It was in theaters way longer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Although that comes out on Paramount
22nd, so you can stream it today, starting today.
What the heck,
today
dude?
is digital purchase or digital rental, and then it's streaming on HBO Max like next week or something. I can't remember.
Well, I just wait for that. I'm not going to pay.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to pay. Yeah.
But I'll watch it. I have no problem with this quick turnaround. I wish it was more consistent, because Maverick coming to Paramount Plus next week is great and all, but it took them forever. Like, I feel like that
it did. Yeah, I mean that was a 4th of July movie, wasn't it? Didn't it come out?
And I say forever in today's terms, because when you and I were kids, we had to wait like 12. It felt like 12 years to get anything.
It felt like exactly. Yeah. Right.
And it wasn't quite that, but it was definitely like you would wait at least a year for VHS tapes, at least.
And the VHS tape was $75 to buy.
Yeah.
To buy. If you don't want to rent it, it'll take your chances on getting a rental, seeing if it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love the 80s, but we were slow. That's the deal there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, a couple things. I wanted to just bring up this whole thing with your car again real quick.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Yes,
no problem.
bring it up.
Let's rub this in just a little bit. So it got me to thinking yesterday, and I just started digging around. I wanted to know kind of what, the way that other services and products have changed over the years. A lot of them have added things like, hey, your heating system in your home, if you pay us $200 a month, we'll come out there once a quarter and make sure everything's okay. And when something does break, it's all covered. You know, it's kind of like a weird extended insurance, but you're basically paying for this service. And there's lots of examples like that kind of all over the place. Cars, less so. But we have heard recently, what was the BMW thing where they were going to let you have, what was it?
It was.
I can't remember.
It was something that was kind of irritating, like something that should have been included with the car purchase, and then they said, "We're going to let you have this for a monthly fee." And
what was that? Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember what it was.
Heated seats.
It was
That's
heated seats.
Heated seats.
Pay us a monthly fee for heated seats.
Yeah, and this was, and by the way, not a thing that happened in the States. This was being tested overseas, so it wasn't even us yet.
That's
in fact, I don't think it made it here even. So,
no, I think it was like so hated it didn't even.
Yeah, it didn't go anywhere. It was a test in Germany, I think. But anyway, I found this one. This is recent. Mercedes is now going to offer. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Here's a big one.
Okay. You promised you would, and you did. You delivered.
Man, that thing came from all the way down. Anyway, Mercedes is offering acceleration increase, is what they're calling the subscription. It's a $1,200 subscription, and you'd pay that monthly or quarterly, I guess in this case for the $1,200.
Okay.
So that your engine can go faster. Basically, they'll let you overclock your engine like you would with a PC or something.
Yeah.
Except you got to pay to do it, and it includes upkeep that. So I guess the engine would therefore be under greater wear. So
so requires more. Yeah, more frequent visits to maintenance, to oil change, and that sort of thing.
I was thinking, okay, we're not going to talk about $1,200 here, but let's say Brian's Kia Soul had a deal where you could pay, I don't know, $50 a month for some cool thing your car did. I don't know what it is.
All right, so like $50 a month. I mean, as long as it's like, because they offer. A lot of places say like, all right, you've got your, besides your oil changes, obviously, which 7,500 to 10,000 miles, between them.
Right.
But they also have like all right, come in at your 15,000 mile, come in at your 30,000 mile. And in each of those times they do a big, like a laundry list of things.
Right.
And I can't remember the whole list, but
it's a full diagnostic. They go through the computer and they check everything, and
exactly they change the cabin filter, the obviously the air filter, things like that.
Sure.
I guess if it basically included, it would have to include, because that's almost the price. That's a little bit less than the price I pay for a full ass oil change.
Yeah.
Which I'm doing every 6 months or 7,500 miles or whatever.
So let's say they threw that in. That was included.
If they threw, obviously they'd have to throw that in. They'd have to throw in like regular tire rotations. They'd have to.
They give you XM. How about a little XM radio on top of all that? It's just like, here you go, have some old school radio from the satellites.
I might, I've been an XM Sirius guy since I got the car, and I do like the chill channel for driving for Lyft, because it feels like a very non-intrusive, everybody doesn't hate it kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's like standard chocolate cake. Everybody will have a piece. It's fine.
But really, 99% of the time when I'm listening to, when I'm not driving for Lyft, is Howard Stern. And I'm getting kind of irritated with his fewer interviews, because that was the big thing for me. His interviews are great. I can listen, I'll put up with him talking crap about Baba Booey and Ronnie the limo driver, for just so long. Yeah. But it's his interviews with folks like Paul McCartney and Foo Fighters. I was going to say Foo Fighters and Paul McCartney. He came out Paul McCartney or whatever it was going to say.
That's amazing.
But it's like, his interviews were great, really, really good, and it's because he goes places that a mainstream interviewer probably can't, because of FCC rules and things like that.
Yeah.
But but those are getting fewer and far between. And I could probably, if Tina keeps her subscription, I could probably just use the app and listen to just the interviews and just listen to Apple Music. Apple Music has been great, and their curated playlists are really good. The ones that they, top indie songs of 2019. It's like, oh, great, goes right from Vampire Weekend into Foster the People over to Fits and the Tantrums and stuff like that. And that I'm really digging. I might actually be getting rid of SiriusXM, and I might, it's going to finally be, let's see how low they go in their offers, because that was my usual gig, was when the subscription was about to run out and I needed to renew it. I'd call and say, yeah, I'm thinking about dropping SiriusXM. And they would just keep like, oh, well, what if we gave you 6 months for $100?
Yeah.
Or 12
they love
months
doing
for
that.
$120.
Just like the old cable cancellations. They'll fight to keep you, man.
Totally. It's like, if you could offer that, why aren't you offering that? Like, why am I not already just paying that? If that's something, if you can haggle that low. So I'm actually going to see how low they go before I still finally say, no, I'm not interested, but I'm curious. Like, all right, how about $20? Just $20. We'll give it to you for 5 years. Do $20?
$20
please
for
just
5
give
years.
us some money?
Yeah, just give us anything. You know what you can say, look, I'll do it. I'll keep your service, but you pay me to play.
Right.
Think they'll go for that.
Or what SiriusXM channel is just not doing great and could use some better content. Because I've got a bunch of shows for you. I've got Morning Stream.
Oh, we can do Coverville. Yes.
I've got Soundography.
Let's
got
do
Core,
it. There was a guy years and years ago. This is probably, 7-8 years ago. Somebody from XM or maybe Sirius, because I don't know if they'd merged yet. But somebody had come to me and said, hey, we're thinking about bringing on some podcasts just for content. And at the time, I was like, let's do it. We're ready. Let's go. We'll put TMS up there. I think the Instance, they want some gaming stuff. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I was all for it. And then that guy got let go, and that entire department got let go. So they're done.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, they didn't do it.
Yeah, it sucks. I remember that. And like Rock and Roll Geek Show was on there for a hot minute. Yep. It was like it was called XM something Stars channel, like or Sirius Stars channel or something like that. And it was just basically them taking podcasts and playing podcasts.
Yeah, which I think was a cool idea.
A very cool idea. Yeah.
I don't know what their user base is and what they're doing now. I mean, it's hard to say. It's such a weird business, so I don't. I assume that they rely mostly on prepackaged car sales where they get 3 months free and then they retain people, and I assume that's their main business now. If I had to guess, because I don't know too many people who are like, you know what my old Honda needs.
Right.
I don't think they're doing that. I could be wrong, but
no, probably not. It's all the new stuff. Exactly.
Well, folks, if you have a Mercedes and you'd like to increase your speed,
let us know. And if you're overseas and you paid for heated seats, let us know how that's going.
I'd love to know how that went. I assume it was just a test, but even if you were in the test, I'd love to know how did it feel to say, like, did you feel like you had to sit in it more? You know how if you pay an MMO subscription and you're not playing, it feels bad?
Yeah.
Was it like, is it like, well, it's too hot here in the summer, but I kind of just want to get my money's worth. I'm going to go turn on my seats and have some heat in my bum.
Oh, no. What's worse is when they say, well, we've increased our price, but we've grandfathered you into the lower price as long as you don't cancel. And like, crap, I guess I'll keep it through the summer so I'm not paying $100 a month, once I fire it back up in the winter.
Yeah. That's true. It's a weird thing. I understand. Everybody's got to milk every little penny out of everything now. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
But Brian,
by the way, sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/the
Yeah,
TMS.
that's right. I will defer here and say I do not believe we are the same as this, but
no, we are absolutely not. We actually give you stuff for your money.
Damn straight. And Brian's right. Go sign up. Get on there. Patreon.com/TMS. Got a quick text to read
Cancel
from
your heated seats and put that money towards TMS.
Yeah, put it toward TMS. We need it. Here's a quick text from a listener. This is from Ben. It's all he wrote is BIN. Ben.
All right.
Dear Scott and Brian, this text is for you. Well, thanks. I appreciate you letting us know. I think COVID is foodborne now. And nobody, or I'll read it like he wrote it.
Okay.
And nobody is talking about this. How else can you explain the uptick in cases right now? I think people are eating food with COVID in it. Let's see. And that is the new way for Peepoo to get it all the time. I think he meant people, but he put
Oh,
Peepoo.
sure he meant people, but Peepoo.
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 Do you think this is crazy? Because I don't. Yes, I do think. Well, I'm not gonna say you're crazy. I'm saying you're coming up with a thing based on nothing. So maybe.
Yeah, I think the uptick is because people are getting together, wearing fewer masks, thinking that we're completely out of it, and going back to business as usual. And
plus, it's just the fall. It always spikes in the fall. It's just
yeah.
It's everything Brian said plus fall plus, variants happen, and then people are caught off guard. We were caught off guard by it.
Yeah.
And we were still being really careful all the time. So
sure.
I don't think your foodborne thing based on what he's
you know what, people, we all need to think outside the box like this, right? Say, well, what if it is this, and what if it is that, and you can do a little research and say, well, maybe there's something to it, or oh no, I guess this proves that it can't be foodborne because it needs X for the virus to actually survive, for the virus to be able to make it. It needs X, and you can't get that from food. So I mean, but I like the thinking outside the box, bin.
Yeah.
Or thinking outside the bin.
Outside the bin. There you go. It's outside the bin. Let's use his name.
The bin.
Well, I hope Peepoo like you don't get it. Okay. That's what
Exactly.
I
hope not.
Hope less Peepoo get it, and more Peepoo are protected this year.
Right.
I'm only going to say Peepoo for people from now on. That's the real
Peepoo.
That's the new thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Many fine Peepoo.
Peepoo.
I've got lots of good Peepoo.
Good Peepoo.
Peepoo told me all the time. They said,
best Peepoo.
You have a way with Peepoo.
Oh, that caught me funny. I have a way with Peepoo. All right.
This always triggers poor Rainbow Bright. This always triggers her, and I think Jeannie as well. And you know what? We gotta laugh at this doofus and the dumb things he says.
Yeah, it's the whole world.
We're gonna be hearing. I hate to say it, but let's prepare for hearing his stupid voice for the next couple of years, and I'm gonna make fun of it as much as I can.
I mean, I'll admit one thing. I have usually zero desire, despite it doesn't matter what year it is. I don't want to watch political debates. I can't do it.
Right.
Just can't put myself through it.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me that the guy who lost and never conceded is going to be on stage with his former vice president, who he threw under the bus completely.
Exactly. Yes.
I kind of want to watch that.
I kind of want to watch it. Well, I feel like we're going to see a very different set of Republican debates when those start coming up, because they've all had time to figure out his Achilles heels and his weaknesses, and he probably is too much of a narcissist to think that he needs to pay attention to theirs. So I feel like it's going to be, the zombies cannibalizing themselves kind of thing. I don't know. It should be interesting.
They spent so many years licking his Achilles heel. I wonder if they'll remember where its weakness is.
And he's burned all of them. Like, Rob the Sanctimonious. I was telling Rob the Sanctimonious the other day.
Just sanctimonious. Hate that so much.
Anyway, it's the worst. His nickname game has really gone down the tubes.
Yeah,
I remember it was like, what about Lion Ted? What about Lion Ted?
Yeah. If Ted runs again, holy shit.
Oh God, yeah.
Hate him so much.
All right, Ted. Anyway,
let's move on to this thing. Oh, hey Brian. Remember Anaheim? I remember that. Tell me more. It was like
2 weeks ago, Anaheim. I barely remember it, Scott. But so went to Anaheim for the concert, just for the concert, basically. Suede and Manic Street Preachers, excellent show, by the way. I at the last second decided to pay for an upgrade. So it's at the House of Blues in Anaheim, and it's an all general admission standing floor situation.
Yeah, but we used to do a Blizzard thing there for influencers, and it was same space, and there was no sitting anywhere. You couldn't sit.
Yeah, no sitting. Yeah. Unless you pay for an upgrade, and then you go up to the second level, which has the foundation room, a really nice like oaky bar with big padded seats and all that stuff. And then it's an upper level that goes around above the standing room only seats. And
the foundation room, you called it?
The Foundation Room. Every House of Blues has one of those. The one in Vegas is the one that's at the very top of Mandalay Bay.
Oh, right.
And it's $20 a drink, but it is worth paying for one of those drinks to go up there and look at that view, because you see all the way down the strip. It's like when you see photos taken from the south end of the strip, it's usually taken from the Foundation Room or Skyfall. Which
do they make you adhere to the 3 laws of robotics while you're in the Foundation Room? Deep cut, everybody! Right. Deep cut.
It's a very deep cut. Yes.
Anyway,
you can't harm the robot bartender or make them cause harm to themselves.
Oh, okay, good.
Anyway, so we're on this upper level, and it's all seats, right? It's basically Tina and I are for I guess whatever luck we had in me buying when I did, we are dead center front of the this kind of bar seating section, which is like tiered 3 or 4 rows of bar seats. Nice little padded, tall, high chair, like high top chairs, and a nice little rail you can put your elbows on. You have your drink on there, all that sort of thing. And then an aisle in front of us, and then in front of that is a slightly lower section that just has movie theater style seats. So the padded seat, cushiony kind of ones with the chair parts that flap down. And so we had an unobstructed view of the stage right from the center, a little high, far further back than the people standing, but I don't care. It still was a great view.
Yeah, it seemed good.
About halfway through Suede's opening set, they were the opening act, even though it was a co-headline thing. And we were guessing probably that throughout the tour, the 2 bands would swap who's the opening act and who's the headliner, because neither of them did encores. So it was like, yeah, we do this big set and then the other band comes on, or the other band's on, then we do this big set kind of thing.
Sure.
The Peepoo directly in front of us in the lower seats decide, just the 2 of them, they're going to stand up and dance, which is totally, you know what? You paid for tickets, totally fine. Here's my thinking on that sort of thing. If I go to a concert and I see the people around me are getting up, most specifically the people behind me are standing, then I'll stand. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to stand if the people behind me are not standing, because I'm not going to automatically impose my will on standing for a band on the people that I'm standing in front of, no matter how much I like the band. Squeeze, sure. Crowded house, whatever. I'm not going to stand if the people behind me aren't standing.
That's right.
Well, I take that back. Here's the caveat to that rule. If the people in front of me are standing and I can't see unless I stand, well, yeah, then I'm standing.
You gotcha. and then you think the people behind you are just like, it's just a cascade, right? Everybody just
It is a cascade, right? It turns into a thing of like, all right, well, the person in the very front row stood up, so I guess the people in the second row standing up, then the people in the third row, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Benjamin asks, do you stand in an REM concert? Yes, but it's only in the place where you were.
Yeah. Shit, I always
Yeah.
forget that. Okay.
Yeah, and then you face north.
Yeah.
But nobody else in this whole area is standing, just these 2 people. And I'm thinking, you got to kind of look around and kind of gauge like, oh, you know what? I really like this band, but nobody else is standing. I guess we'll just kind of sit. Now, the good news is, even with them standing, because their seats were lower, they didn't block the stage for us, except when they started clapping above their heads. I don't know why. You feel like you need to do that. And doing a lot of fist bumping and jumping up and down and stuff like that. It's like, all right, I could deal with this. I've still got good seats. I'm sitting down. I'm drinking my drink. It's fine. It's fine. It's like, and then they left after Suede. They didn't care about the Manic Street Preachers, so we had a completely.
Oh, they were there. They were only there for the intro band.
They were only there for Suede. Yeah.
I guess that happens. People go just to see.
With a co-headline tour like this, totally expected. Tina was she's a much bigger fan of Suede than she is the Preachers, or the Manics, I guess is the way you shorten their name. Mm-hmm. So she was like, yeah, I guess I would have liked Manics opening and Suede finishing, just because the warm up to the headliner, but both of them did an hour and 45 minute set, so they both did
Sure.
full headliner sets.
Yeah,
so
it sounds
really,
like 2 full concerts, kind of.
Yeah.
That's good though. That's good if you're going to a thing like that's kind of how when I saw Ozzy and Metallica open for them.
Or somebody? Or no,
it was Metallica, and
Metallica. That's right.
And they were great, and they went as long as he did.
Yeah.
And he sat in a chair the whole time. So I kind of did just go for Metallica at the end of the day. But I kind of like that, because then if you're a huge fan of one band, you don't want to go see 3 songs and then they're off stage. That would suck.
Right. Exactly.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, I was considering seeing the Red Hot Chili Peppers tour when it came through Denver because Haim was opening up for him. But I don't like the Red Hot Chili Peppers enough to want to see them perform. And who knows if Haim was going to do 6 songs and then leave. It's like, not worth it to me. I'll wait till they've got to come back through and be a headliner at some point, even if it's in a smaller club or whatever. But
yeah. They're also about 80% less naked than Flea when they're out there. So.
Right. Can we actually see SD Haim come out wearing just a tube sock? That'd be okay.
That'd be fine. That'd be fine. You know what? Tell Flea to take the afternoon off. Let's do one of the Haim ladies.
I'm going to give that tube sock to SD Haim.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a fresh, clean tube sock for SD Haim.
Don't give her used. Oh my gosh, don't give anybody Flea's used sock. All right?
And let her make her weird bass face with the Flea tube sock. It's totally fine.
She does make a weird bass face.
She makes the weirdest bass face in rock and roll. It's great. Is
it a thing that others also have a bass face, or is this a new term you've coined today? Like, could we say
it is
bases?
A new term I've coined? Well, it's not a new term I've coined today, but it's a term that's been coined, I think, around SD Haim and her bass face.
Interesting. Because I'm trying to picture other famous bassists, and I can't see them making the faces she makes. She might own this. This is her thing.
She might. Yeah, Icor says bass face is a thing, or Matuba says no, it's a thing. So bass face apparently is a thing.
Okay.
Did Little Steven Van Zandt? I feel like he made a bass face.
His bass face was the same face he made through the entire run of Sopranos. It's the same face.
It kind of is, right?
Yeah. He just looks disgusted. Tony.
You want I should rub him out?
And then Polly would come in and lisp. Oh, I miss Polly. All right.
One last thing.
Yeah.
Kyber crystals, because that was the other thing I was going to do while I was out there.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
You can go to the Star Wars store in downtown Disney and buy Kyber crystals. Went up there. I said, all right, I'm going for a black crystal, so give me 5 reds. And she says, well, hold on, because the ones we sell are the gold capped Kyber crystals, which are the ones that are made for the holocrons and the Jedi, the Sith holocrons and the Jedi cubes, or maybe they're all holocrons. I can't keep track. But those don't have a chance of having a black crystal. So,
I'm glad she told you. That's good that she said something.
Yeah, and she probably, she would have. This isn't. She wasn't Bob Chapek and say, yeah, give me your money. I'll take your money. Whatever.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Boy, that was a big deal yesterday when they heard freaking Bob Iger coming back. Jeez.
As a Disney fan, I'm so happy to see that. Chapek was the worst thing to happen to Disney.
Iger's not like
Song of the South.
Iger's not like perfect. He's got his issues, but he's so much better of a brand rep for that company than
he really
that
is.
other
He's
guy.
way more customer focused than Chapek was. But I'm going to take this off in a second. So
I thought you were going to wear it like a I don't know, like it looks like
like this.
Yeah, this isn't bad.
Just this right here. Yeah. Problem is, it's pulling on my neck. This is a heavy sweatshirt. Man.
That's true. That's a big beefy one. Anyway, sorry.
So the couple days after we were there, my Uncle George and Aunt Barb went to Disneyland, and they picked up some Kyber crystals for me. So when I go to their house for Thanksgiving in 2 days, I'm going to do the Kyber crystal roulette and hope for a black crystal.
Brian brings the pies to fry, and they bring the crystals.
Right, exactly.
That's great. Right. Pretty good
Fry
exchange.
The pie, you throw me the crystals, I'll throw you the pies.
Exactly. Don't trust that guy. He's not gonna give you back the idol.
Right.
But he will get stabbed. It'll be fine.
Right. Exactly.
Well done.
All right,
Fun stuff.
We should get to some news.
Yeah, let's do it. We got news. Why not? I like news.
Yeah.
Today's news is brought to you by
313 Pizza in Harriman. Scott, why should people care about this?
Brand new place, not a chain. It's called 313 Pizza. It is amazing. It's so good. And they do 2 very different styles. They do like kind of New York thin crust style, and then they have a whole other menu for Detroit style, which is that big, thick, deep, not deep dish, but Detroit style. People know what I'm
Thicker,
talking about.
yeah, right.
It's always squared off and cut into smaller squares or whatever. Anyway, they have both. And they have a bar there and a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, this place is great. I would highly, highly recommend checking it out if you're out in that area. It's part of this new development out in Harriman, just across from the main road there, or the main highway. And it's great. It's called 313 Pizza, and it's totally worth checking out. I have some in the fridge.
Cool.
I'm so excited.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, there's a new place that that opened up here called the Pie Dive, a little local family-owned place, and I got to try it and see how it is. I'm up for some za.
Yeah, pizza once in a while. Something about fall weather, cold weather, early winter, and
right.
pizza for me.
Yeah.
Cannot find a better combo. Just love it.
Wait, I'd have to walk there. I can only go to places that I can walk. So I think we're committed to Buffalo Wild Wings, Jersey Mike's, McDonald's, or Illegal Burger. Damn it!
I mean, what is this? The 1800s? Brian has to walk. Oh my god!
What is this? If it was warmer, I could bike ride. I'd be fine with that. But it's friggin' 19 degrees out. I'm not bike riding in 19 degrees. I do that inside while Bakari in the that's his name, Bakari in Apple Fitness Plus yells at me.
Bakari, whoa!
Could you maybe push a little bit harder? How are you right now? You're at your heart level. Could you maybe go all out for 30 seconds?
And he's pre-recorded, right? He's not talking to you.
Yeah, it's all pre-recorded.
That always annoys me. It's worse.
Oh, no, for me, no. I don't want them looking like Peloton, like where they have the live instructors and saying like, all right, well, Brian in Colorado, he's only going 60 RPM. Oh, Brian in Colorado, speed up.
Yeah, that's true. But I just don't like when they talk to you as if they're there and then know that they're not. So it's like, oh, do you think you could just push a little bit more? It's like, I don't even know you. Never met me. You don't know me at all. You faceless guy.
I can't imagine what that's like for people to talk to people that they're technically not even interacting with live.
Oh man, I didn't even think about it. A parasocial relationship with your Apple trainer,
with your audience that listens to it after the fact. With your
yeah, never done that before. Don't know what that's about. Let's talk about this. This is a weird thing. And I've actually been holding on to this since before I got sick, before COVID. So not before COVID happened, but before I got it. I've been holding this story since 2019. Here it is. Oculus co-founder. Nobody likes this guy anymore. His name's Palmer Luckey. He's the original dude.
Oh, yeah,
He's
I remember that.
Kind of an a-hole.
Guy.
But anyway, he has made a VR headset that can literally kill you. This is pretty weird. This is the idea of dying in a video game simulation or a game or simulation could cause death in real life is a common trope in fictional works. Okay, so you see this in all sorts of stuff. William Gibson loves playing around with this.
Gamer with that 3 for an E.
Yeah, remember that? That was bad. That was garbage.
Yeah.
Anyway, Oculus co-founder and generally thought of to be a bit of an a-hole, Palmer Luckey has made the concept real. On his personal blog, he wrote of a new VR headset he has designed that uses 3 embedded explosive charges planted above the forehead. They can destroy the brain of the user. The lethal explosion is triggered via a narrow-band photosensor that can detect when the screen flashes red at a specific frequency. He wrote, making it easy to set off during a game over screen.
Oh, jeez.
To be clear, he says his deadly headset, which looks in images just like a modified Quest Pro or something, is at this point just a piece of office art. A thought-provoking reminder of unexplored avenues in game design. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. He fancies himself a Banksy, does he? Okay,
a little bit.
For him.
Fancies himself a Banksy is a great way of putting it when people are...
That's a great show title, too.
Yeah,
Fancies
and plus when
himself
people
a
are
Banksy.
a-holes like this, it's like, oh, you fancy yourself a Banksy, do you? I like that. There's a really cool Banksy, by the way, an actual one in Park City.
Yeah.
That because so many people try to get to it, the city, city built a Faraday cage around it now.
Wow.
It's not a Faraday cage, but it's like, a big protective cage with stuff so you can't get to it. But I just thought that was interesting. It's like, here's a guy who, he's obviously famous for this, but I assume it's a guy. We don't really know who it is, do we? We still don't know who Banksy is.
Yeah.
But whoever Banksy is...
I think it's film star Alicia Silverstone, personally,
Nice.
But until somebody proves me wrong.
well, she hasn't been up to much else.
No, she's just busy chewing up food and spitting in her baby's mouth. That's
Yeah,
it. That's all she's doing.
Mm-hmm. And then painting walls and pretending she's a famous hidden artist. He's like a VTuber without the tube or the V. Anyway.
The V or the tube.
No one knows who it is. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting because the city, normally they would say, we can't have somebody just painting shit on the walls with no permit or whatever. Yeah. But in this case, they're like, oh, no, preserve it. Cover it.
It's great, right? Like, he gets kind of the carte blanche to, kind of literally, right? The blank card to do what he wants and paint where he wants because he's Banksy.
What's the name of that documentary? It was very good.
Exit Through the Gift Shop.
Listen, chat. There's a couple people in here who've never heard of Banksy. Watch Exit Through the Gift Shop.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, so good.
It's really one of the best docs.
And then watch the video of the painting that the painting that he made that shredded itself once it got purchased.
Yeah, that thing's amazing.
It really is. Yeah.
I mean, that was next level. After that, I thought, well, how is this person ever going to out Banksy themselves? But then there was just a string of regular old art. So
yeah. He
doesn't care. She doesn't care. Whatever. Whoever.
Whoever that Peepoo is.
Whoever that Peepoo is. This Peepoo has got it on. Got it going on.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway, you can kill yourself with this headset if you really wore it, but he's just being a dork. He's a guy
super hot. All of a sudden turns more super and more hot.
Yeah. He's basically got a ton of money and nothing going on. That's what that is.
Yeah, exactly. This feels like let's see. What can I do to get some attention really quick? I know. I'll make a headset that can kill you, but just for art.
Yeah, just for art. And this will get Peepoo talking about me again.
That's right.
Yeah, which nobody wants.
Scott and I recorded an episode of TMS that you'll never hear because it contains the brown note and it'll make you instantly poop your pants.
Yeah.
And but it's burned onto a flash drive and it's sitting on my wall right over there.
That's
You'll
right.
never hear it.
You're never going to hear it. We're the Banksies of podcasters. Everybody stand to the side.
Exactly.
Hellraiser. Remember Hellraiser? The pinheads and the whatnots.
Kids movie that.
I feel like I could be wrong about this because my memory sucks and I haven't looked it up, so I probably could just look it up. But I could have sworn as a teenager so I know they made a RoboCop Saturday morning kids show. Even though RoboCop itself was like this really bloody,
ultra-violent,
hard R thing that just about pushed rated X level stuff back in the day. But somehow they made a kids cartoon out of RoboCop. I swear they made a Hellraiser cartoon, and it was for kids, and I can't get it out of my head. I don't know why I'm sure of this.
I do remember seeing somebody doing an animated Pinhead.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. What was that from? Do you remember?
That's what I don't remember it being from, but I totally remember seeing this kind of weird stylized animated Pinhead, but I couldn't tell you what it was from.
Yeah, the chat's bringing up the Rambo cartoon. I remember that, and that was another one of those. Yeah. And there was a thing there for a while where they would do this. They would try to figure out a way to skew adult content to be kid fun, And I swear there was like something with that and the puzzle box and kids solving the box and then running from Pinhead or something.
That's really funny.
I don't know why.
Oh no, we gotta get away. We just released Pinhead.
I know, right? Plus the lady with the weird vagina neck and the guy with the
exactly. I'm
teeth.
sure she wouldn't make it into the cartoon.
No, at least not in that shape. She's not. Well, anyway, this is the deal. Hellraiser Puzzle Box is now a toys kids can play with. So we're back to the.
So this actually really is a thing.
This is an actual thing. So it's either the coolest thing you've seen from a major retail or the most twisted, says this article. Or maybe just a little bit of both. According to the folks at Boing Boing, Walmart is now, and this is Walmart, mind you.
Walmart?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Selling toy replicas of the LeMerchant's Lament configuration from the Hellraiser franchise. I guess that's what that's called, the box. It's just called
the LeMerchant's Lament configuration.
I guess so. Never heard it before.
Can we just call it the Hellraiser puzzle box? I mean, come on.
That's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Hellraiser puzzle box has become a STEM toy. One intended for children to play with as they learn about technology engineering. Yes, the very puzzle box that unleashes cenobites onto the earthly plane and brings forth sadistic pleasures for them. In the Walmart ad, we can even see a father and daughter posing with the replica Hellraiser toy box. Let's see, little Susie.
There it is, right there.
I'll pull this up so I can see it with chat room. Hold on.
Oh, jeez.
There you go.
Wow.
Chat. Look at that. Look at these two. See that, Susie? You turn this way, and then...
Oh, maybe if you push that piece there, maybe the demon from hell will come and But make sure you get rid of that mattress. The mattress. Get rid of the mattress.
This isn't there a... Oh, yeah, that mattress, dude.
It's a mattress.
Someone's got to get rid of that mattress. Isn't the whole deal, though? I just saw the new one, too, during Halloween. The whole thing with this box is if you do it right, then a hook or a blade comes out and cuts you. And when you start bleeding, that's when the Cenobites come through.
Oh, really? So it's when you cut your... Well, that's yes, that's battery sold separately, I guess.
Yeah.
You gotta get knife sold separately. I'm just curious as to how they claim this is a STEM... this is a STEM thing. How does this prepare you for science, technology, engineering?
I mean, maybe that's the idea. Is
mechanics, yes.
I just don't think kids
or math. Is it the M math or mechanics?
I thought it was. Oh, geez, now I don't know.
I think M is math.
It's memory, clearly, because I can't remember. Let's see. STEM stands for. Oh my gosh! Now I must know. Here it is. Definition. What is STEM? It stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So it is math.
Yeah, we should have looked at just Bobby in the chat room.
Oh, he would know. Yeah,
math.
Bobby would know.
Yeah.
Of all the people in the know, Bobby's one of them for sure.
Bobby would know. I guess, and there's engineering that makes the box, but does it teach you about engineering to just? Is Rubik's Cube a STEM toy now? Is that the deal?
Yeah, like that's exactly. Why wouldn't that be? Maybe it is. I don't know. We shouldn't say it because maybe it is. Exactly. Well, anyway, Walmart. I want an apology for all the albums you wouldn't carry in the '90s. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Oh no, that Black Crowes album with the close up of the bikini bottom. That's too much. But here's a demon toy from hell.
Yeah, here's a demon toy. Go for it.
It'll teach you science.
Yeah. At the very least, expose your child to a film franchise that'll freak him the F out.
Exactly.
Good job.
Ooh, Dad, can I watch the movie that this thing came from?
No. Oh, no, little Sally. No. We'll have to do that a different time. Shing, shing, and chains come out of the sky and pull your flesh apart.
That said, how soon are we running out to buy these?
I kind of want one. I'm not going to lie.
Heck yeah. You kidding me?
I want one just to have
this is more than I could 3D print, so I want to just buy one.
Yeah. If this was just a box painted up or whatever, fine. But this isn't. This moves.
No, it opens up. It like the art that they show, the configurations that it goes into is like, wow, this is pretty damn cool.
Someone check availability while we do a song, because I'd love to see if we can snag those.
Yeah, let us know.
Brian, speaking of song, we got to play one and take a break. When we come back, Bobby will be joining us first this week, Bill after that, and so we'll get our science, then our making it on, and that'll all happen in the wake, the shadow really, of this song you've brought. So what do you got there?
Well, back in 2019, I believe, or 2021, we played a song by this guy, Mark J. Giddens, Gidden. He's a singer-songwriter from St. Albans in the UK. Got his influence from like Radiohead, Smashing Pumpkins, and the Pixies. And for a while there, he fronted a band called Traveler before he decided to go solo. And this is his third solo album following Have You Heard and Fool Yourself in 2019 and 2021. This is a brand new album called Time Traveler, and the first single from it, which is called My Friend. Here is Mark J. Giddens.
What if I forget the sweet sound of her voice or the moist touch of her eyeball on my lips?
Hey, I'm hurting here. I got pocketbook issues. I got inflation. I got gas. What are you going to do for me?
The Morning Stream. I don't want to fire you, Jeffrey. I just want you to produce.
All right, we're back, everybody. Tell me who that was one more time.
Sure, that was Mark J. Giddens from his brand new album, which is called Time Traveler. I got it from the future. It is a song called My Friend.
Very, very nice.
You know, if only I knew somebody who worked at a Walmart who could pick me up one of those boxes, i.e. my son. I'm texting him right now.
Text him now and say, get two.
One of these boxes?
Tell him to get two, or find out if I can get him here in Salt Lake. If I can't, I'll pay your son extra to get me one.
Okay, we'll do.
Because I would love that. Hey, look who it is. It's brightly lit Bobby Frankenberger. Oh, now he's normal lit. Bobby Frankenberger joining us for a little bit of this right here.
science.
It's science time with Bobby, who runs a podcast all about science, all around science is what it's called. And he joins us on Tuesdays to talk about the latest and greatest in science goings on. We missed you last week. I was out of here. Obviously, it wasn't your fault, but it's good to have you back. How are you?
Yeah, are you still contagious? Should I?
No.
Yeah, you should be staying 6 feet away. Yes, Bobby.
Home tests are negative. I feel like I shouldn't say neg. It sounds like I'm heading somewhere.
I know.
Yeah.
But, we both like the actress Ruth Negga. So,
yeah, I like her a lot, actually.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah. She is great.
I'm going to, so that's cool, although I was told that the ones where you get them at the hospital, what's that called? Not PCP. What is it? PRC?
PCR tests?
PCR.
Yeah. PCR.
Polymerase chain reaction for those of us in the know.
Oh, my Lord. Look at you. If I do that one, it will probably show that there's detectable levels of the virus load for like 2 months. So,
yeah, it's much more sensitive. The PCR tests actually detect viral DNA little bits, and they're very good at that. So if you've got it floating around, which you will for a long time after the virus is gone, or is no longer doing its job, because there's dead virus particles floating around for a long time. So it'll pick it up.
So we were happy to know that on the cheapy crappy home tests, we weren't good enough to wear masks and go to Costco and get pizza.
And you say cheapy crappy home tests, but for people who are impressionable listening at home, those are good tests. They just aren't. They're testing something different. Those rapid antigen tests is what they're called. They're testing for viral antigen, which are the big chunks of the particles of the virus that allow it to attach to your cells. So that's why they test for that, because the presence of that is a much more reliable indicator that you currently have an infection going on and are probably contagious.
And that's why you're digging around in your nose hose, because that's where that stuff resides, right? You got a whole bunch of hooey in there. Otherwise, you'd just, I don't know what you'd do, hold it in your urine stream or something if you're looking for something deeper.
Right.
Right.
That's what you do.
Well, excellent. Bobby, we're glad to have you here. I assume you brought a little satchel full of science knowledge. What'd you bring today? What's going on?
Well, last time we talked, I said that I was going to talk about meteor impacts.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because we avoided one. It went past us. Bruce Willis did his job. We'll never see him again, but it worked. And, we're good. But so tell us more.
And his son and his girlfriend are sad about it.
They are, but you know what? They'll make it through because they know how to have a good time with an animal cracker. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yes, they'll be just fine. Yeah.
Deep cut.
So I thought I'd talk about meteor impacts, and you were wondering what happens at different sizes of meteor impacts, and would we feel it all over the world? What would happen? And so I tried to gather as much information as I could.
Do you know do you have the game not Interstellar, Stellar something? Anyway, it's basically they have it for VR as well, but it's a PC game. It's not even a game. It's a demo where you are presented with our galaxy, and it's all based on actual space physics as we know them, and so everything's doing what it does. The sun is where it is. The Earth is behaving the way it does. Objects around us, like the moon and other planets, they're all doing what they do, and all you have to do is go into this game and take your mouse and say, all right, what if I nudge the moon just, a stellar inch closer to where the Earth is, and now let's see what happens. And it creates just absolute chaos. Or if you do it with
I
Neptune
think you
a
can
little bit.
Can't you? I've never used it myself, but can't you specify objects of particular mass and size and everything to smash into the Earth and stuff
100%, which is kind of where I was getting at, because at one point I did that. I created a giant meteor. And I made it out of, I think, iron or something. You can kind of choose how much weight, mass, all that stuff, velocity, direction, if it's already in orbit of something else, like all that kind of stuff. And every time I did that, it would impact the Earth, and the Earth would just have this massive knock-on effect all the way around it, and basically make the entire thing an extinction level event. And it tracks like population, so it would tell you, oh, you're down to 2 million people survived total or something out of the 9 billion that were here or whatever to 8 billion.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've never played with it myself. You'll have to. What was it called again? I'm
going to look that up while you tell me how this would actually behave, because I think you'd like it.
Because I would like to play with that and see what it is and how it compares to the numbers I'm about to give you, which I did a little research on. So first of all, what you should know about meteor impacts is that not to frighten you, but they happen all the time. Mm-hmm. We're actually there. I looked up some numbers. This blew my mind. 17,000 meteorites per year.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Which, if you do the math, that's 46.6 meteorites per day.
And our meteorites are the ones that get into our atmosphere but don't necessarily hit the ground. Like they could burn into, like they could be pea-sized.
Meteorites do hit the ground.
They do hit the ground. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Okay. Wow.
So there's meteoroids, meteors, and meteorites. Meteoroids are like potential meteors.
And you can get treatment for that. There's some treatments for meteoroids. You don't have to.
I hear if you give them a pineapple berry, they'll evolve into a.
Yeah, this is the evolution. So, there's a meteor is just anything that enters the Earth's atmosphere, and if it survives far enough to get down through the atmosphere, it's a meteorite. But most of these are obviously really tiny pebble-sized meteorites, and so nobody knows anything about it. And they actually calculated the odds of any single person. This is interesting. The odds of any single person. So, like Brian, the odds of you. Mm-hmm. Well, not you actually, because this is any single person born in 2005.
Yeah, I'm not single anymore.
Oh, that's true. You're also married.
Not anymore.
I did not do enough research.
Watch out, single people.
Yeah,
all the single people.
Yeah.
The odds of any single person born in 2005 dying of an impact of a meteorite is 1 in 200,000.
Oh wow!
So it seems high to me, though, doesn't
Actually,
it? Actually, it
does. Like, seems way more common than I'd like. I know 200,000 is a lot, but still, like, if 17,000 of these are falling down, is it just in your lifetime a 1 in 200 or 1 in 200,000?
Yeah, over the course
year?
of your entire life.
Okay,
So
all right.
The odds that you will die of a meteor impact.
Yes. Okay.
Wow. So anyway, let's say a meteor's coming in to the Earth. What's going to happen? First of all, meteors travel they impact the Earth at about 30 to 40,000 miles per hour. That's 17 kilometers per second.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty fast. The last major meteor impact that really impacted, because what do you care about? You care about life on Earth. How's it going to impact our life? That was the famous Chicxulub meteor impact 66 million years ago.
That's not a real name. Chicxulub. Come on now.
Yeah.
Is that real?
It's actually a place in Mexico.
You're just lobbing easy shots over the net to Scott.
Yeah. Because you know this that sounds like a Star Wars character. Chicxulub.
Chicxulub.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
So it was an asteroid that was 10 kilometers wide. That's 6 miles wide. And it created a 110 mile wide meteor that was 12 miles deep. And it was a 100,000 gigaton impact.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it seems high.
It is very high. I mean, it launched 25 trillion metric tons of material into the atmosphere. It blanketed the Earth. And it was responsible for the mass extinction that killed off the dinosaurs. 75% of life on Earth went extinct from this. There were wildfires that covered 70% of the forests on Earth.
Oh my god!
Because of this, yeah.
Wow.
So it happened in Mexico, right? Right off the coast of Mexico, there's evidence of instantaneous die-off as far as New Jersey. So that was pretty far away that things were instantaneously.
That's a weird thing to measure, isn't it? Like, of all the places that it reached, New Jersey was the place.
New Jersey?
That's weird.
Maybe they were just, I don't know. Maybe it was where they were hoping at least something hit New Jersey. I don't know.
That actually sounds a little less hardcore than I expected. Maybe the thing I made in it's by the way, Universe Sandbox is the name of the game.
Okay.
And it's been out since 2015 in early access, and it still is They're still updating it all the time. I don't know when it hits 1.0, but it's overwhelmingly positive reviews for all these years now. It's very, very cool. But finding out it's still in early access is a very odd thing to find out. Anyway, I put a link in the chat if anybody wants to check that out. It's very, very cool. And it's only, well, right now it's $30. You can find it on sale quite a bit, but it's rad. I've created some seriously nightmare scenarios for our universe. It's been great. Yeah.
Well, so you said it seemed smaller than you thought, but it's a pretty big deal. Like it created mega tsunamis that were 330 feet tall. They think that the immediate waves that were created were a mile tall. It rippled the sea floor as far away as Louisiana and Texas.
Damn.
Yeah. So pretty big deal. But let's go a couple step by step smaller asteroids to see what kind of things would happen. So if you have an asteroid or a meteorite that hits the Earth that's smaller than 1 meter, let's say, then those aren't going to make it to Earth. Those are what we call meteoroids. So it wouldn't actually be a meteorite. If it's 1 meter by the time it hits the Earth's atmosphere, usually will get burned up in the atmosphere.
Okay.
So anything bigger, it needs to be a little bit bigger than that in order to make it all the way.
So that Armageddon thing where it's just raining rocks, that'd be pretty rare, right? You're not going to see that.
Those were probably pretty big when you destroy a very large asteroid. Probably pretty big sized chunks are going to come down, and that's part of why scientists and NASA and other organizations study how are we going to deal with this, because they don't want to do something that's going to send a bunch of large things to Earth that that would make it into the atmosphere.
Right.
But what about a house-sized asteroid? That's about like 10 meters wide, like a regular old
just a standard little family, three bedroom, 2 bathroom kind of.
Right, 2.3 baths.
Okay.
Right. Let's say it's going at the same speed that we would expect, 30 to 40,000 miles per hour. The energy that it would have is the energy of the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima.
Jeez.
20 kilotons from a house-sized asteroid. It would probably explode in the air. It would never actually make it to Earth. But that's a big deal. Like you still call those meteorites, I believe, because they call them air bursts. It's just the energy gets so high and it gets so hot that it just can't hold itself together and it explodes.
Okay.
And it would flatten reinforced concrete buildings in a 1.5 mile radius.
Even if it exploded, so sub-atmosphere. It's in our atmosphere, but not too low. Like, are we talking hundreds of feet up there? Like, what are we talking about?
100,000 feet.
100,000 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
So that much of an explosion there, directly below that, let's say it's New York City, you are wiping out the city.
That's from my research. That's what it's talking about. Yeah. It would destroy. It would do significant damage to a major city. Yeah. This is interesting. That type of house-sized asteroid striking the Earth has a probability of happening once every 10 years only. And so it does happen. And you might be wondering, why don't we hear every 10 years about this happening? That's because most of the Earth is covered in water and not populated. And so it does happen, and we just don't know about it. We actually did see, there was one not too long ago in 2018. You remember the thing that went over Russia?
Oh, yeah. It was big
and
old
everybody
light.
had it on their dash cams.
Yeah, that was something
picture
like
of it
this.
on my dish cam.
Right. That was something of a similar size to this.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay.
And where did that end up landing? Was it?
It didn't land anywhere. Exploded in the atmosphere.
Okay, so it did the thing you're saying, but did it hurt anybody? Did anybody get wrecked?
It did hurt people. I don't know if there were any fatalities. I don't remember, and I didn't look into that. But I know that there was a lot of building damage. That's from the videos we saw. There were like windows shattering. And stuff like
right,
that.
yeah.
That's crazy.
That was a unique one because it was caught by so many cameras, right?
I mean, it was like noonday sun directly in your face for a second.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wild.
and also there was another recorded one in 1988.
Also in Russia?
That happened. I don't know about in Russia, but that was just another recorded one. So certainly they're happening, and they're happening in places where they're not recorded, and that's why we don't hear all.
I could see I could see actually that part of the world having not more of these, but because it's a big, expansive space, that part of Asia.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a higher chance, but as minuscule as it may be, of actually getting in one of these
Maybe.
to hit grand. I don't
Maybe
know.
I mean, Russia's really big, but it's not super populated.
That's true. Yeah.
Like all that area is not really populated.
That's true. A lot of that is just cold and terrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was another. Have you heard of the Tunguska meteor?
No, that also sounds like a fake Star Wars name. But go ahead.
Yeah, like there was a
The
It sounds
Tunguska,
like
they'll
something
get you.
you
an
cut open and
X-Files
get
episode
warm.
about the
The
Tunguska.
Tunguska, yeah.
Yep. But in 1908, over Tunguska, Russia, there was again Russia
Yeah.
in Siberia. So maybe there's something to what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe.
There was a 37-meter wide asteroid that blew up over the Siberian forest. It mowed down trees, completely flattened trees for many, many miles around it. This is the interesting thing. There were reports of people 20 miles away being thrown into the air. And 40 miles away, there was at least one man who claims that he was thrown from his chair. And this is 40 miles away from a 37-meter wide asteroid exploding.
I was thrown from chair. I swear this happened to me. So hold on a second. Like, it's a terrible. Hey, here's a joke for you. If 400 acres of forestry falls over, does it make a sound? Anyway,
it did make a sound. That's how this man knew to report it.
Oh,
from
good.
40 miles away.
Oh, good for him.
So very interesting. At least 40 miles away. Whether he's exaggerating being thrown from his chair or not, he must have at least known about it, right? To say something about it.
So where do people find the fragments they find? Is it from the aftermath of one of these sorts of deals, and something just makes it through and tumbles and lands in a field somewhere?
Sure. From these kinds of things, you will find fragments, but you find fragments all the time. Lots of small things make it to the Earth all the time, and they're everywhere, really. There are people who go out and search for them. If you look up on YouTube, I'm not going to give you the details about how to do it because I don't know them off the top of my head, but there's like magnets you can use and go out into the street and just drag huge neodymium magnets, and there's a decent chance that you will find meteorite dust or fragments just outside in your neighborhood, because it's happening all the time. Very tiny particles, all the time.
Oh yeah, so I found one. The guy's got he found a little hunk near where he lives. This kind of makes me want to do this. How do you get a hold of a giant brick-sized nightmare magnet thing like that?
You can order them online, neodymium magnets. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
But
I get the little tiny circular ones to put in my 3D stuff, but I can't imagine getting a brick one.
Yeah, because those tiny ones are pretty strong.
They don't stick to like the other packages that have metal in them.
Oh, so this is, I guess, not necessarily related to meteors, but that's interesting because my father-in-law has a really strong magnet. He was asking me about it because he works on industrial kitchen equipment for his job, and they use magnets in these in these slicers and everything, really strong neodymium magnets, and he had an extra one. He had an idea for it, and I told him, they're very strong, but the range of the magnet is not huge. So if you just have something around it, like foam a couple inches around it, then it's fine. Like you're not going to...
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the range, the drop-off is very quick on it. But if you get close to it, it's going to...
Are they expensive because they're rare? That way?
No, I don't know about them being rare, but they're probably just because there's not a high demand, so they need to have the price up. I'm sure it's just economics.
That's a good point. I kind of so rare earth magnets aren't the same as that though. That's a different thing.
I don't want to say for sure, but I think neodymium magnets are a type of rare earth magnet. I think.
Okay. I love magnets.
Real quick before we finish up, if it's a 20-story building, that's how big it is, like 60 meters wide.
Yeah.
200 feet, then it would have the energy of the largest nuclear bomb in modern days, 25 to 50 megatons.
Jeez.
It would flatten reinforced concrete buildings in a 5-mile radius, and it would destroy most major cities in the U.S.
Yeah.
This happens likely to happen once every 1,000 years.
Wow. I don't like. Those seem like too good of odds. I don't like that.
So again, it's never been recorded that one that size has happened, even though it's once every 1,000 years. But that's because most of the Earth does not have people on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, it might hit the Earth, but the likelihood that it's going to be near someone who sees it is very low, actually. The ones you have to really worry about are those big ones that killed all the dinosaurs. So how big would it have to be to destroy everything on Earth?
Yeah. Extinction level event. Tell me what we're looking at here.
Right. So we're looking at one that's like 7 to 8 miles wide.
Yeah.
6 miles. For reference, again, the Chicxulub impact, that was an asteroid that was 6 miles wide, and it killed 75% of all life on Earth. You probably need it to be about 7 to 8 miles wide to kill everything on Earth, or at least most everything. Scientists think that at least a tiny bit of life would probably survive, but it would create a dust plume that would envelop the entire planet. Billions of people would die. If you want to guarantee that every living thing on Earth will die, it needs to be 60 miles wide.
Oh, that's a guarantee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
All right.
By the way, Rainbow Bright in the chat room wanted me to ask you, have you seen Greenland, Bobby?
Oh, the movie?
Have I seen Green? Oh.
The movie, yeah.
No, I have not. No.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Gerard Butler and... Yeah, but it talks about an event like this.
You know what? I liked it better than Geostorm, which is the other Gerard Butler.
Yes,
thing.
right.
I'll give him that. I had a little bit better time with
a lot
Greenland.
more fun with Greenland. Yeah,
They also had better acting overall. I thought everybody was like better in it. So
didn't they have Morena Baccarin, or am I?
No, that's her. Yep, that's his wife.
Yeah.
Yep, totally. And then somebody else was great in that who didn't live long. Old guy. I can't think of who I'm thinking of. Actor
Yes,
really
he was right. He was in he kidnapped her in the car.
Yes.
And the kids, and it was.
What's his name? Oh
shoot!
It's good though.
It is good.
You know what?
I can't remember what it was.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and retract what I said. Greenland's all right. It's all right. It's not the best movie you're going to see. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying of these end times movies, it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Gets the job done. Bobby, this is fascinating stuff. I am very glad that you brought it to us because I like science and I like magnets. Two of my favorite things in the world, science and magnets. And hey, there's a science to magnets, as we learned, when you're trying to find meteor bits out in your backyard. So good luck, everybody, with that. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about your show? Anything coming up that's cool before we let you go?
Well, yep. So the podcast that I'm on is called All Around Science. Me and Maura talk about science every week. We just talked about what are the parasites that are responsible for real-life zombie infection.
Damn.
So they're called cordyceps, and it's pretty fascinating and kind of terrifying to think about what insects who get zombified must be going through when it happens. But we just talked about that on the episode we released yesterday, as well as robots taking over universities. They're starting to release them. It's happening.
Good Lord.
It's happening. It's happening.
It's all apocalyptic over on All Around Science this week.
Yes, exactly. So check that out, All Around Science. And thanks for accommodating my early. I've got to go run off now and teach my first grade daughter's class about science, actually.
Oh,
yeah,
very cool.
About
awesome.
About surface tension, right? Or something?
Surface tension, yeah. We're doing, the old experiment where you try to fill a penny with water droplets and see how many you can get, and it
That's right, yeah.
We're doing that, and we're going to talk about surface tension and do some math.
Are you going to do the thing where they all get to walk up and do a drop, and the next kid gets to do a drop, and they're all just like...
Everybody's getting their own penny.
Their own penny, their own eyedropper, and their own water.
Well, look at you, big spender. Old Elon Musk in that place.
Tell those kids not to put the pennies in their mouth. It's gross.
No,
I spare no expense.
They taste
Billy, don't eat the penny.
Yeah, they don't taste like copper because they're made of copper, okay? They taste like copper because they've been in somebody's G-string. All right, see you later, Bobby. Have a good one. All right. There goes Bobby. And as you know, Bill Duran also comes on this show here and talks to us about the world of making stuff, which I'm really looking forward to. And big thanks to him for accommodating today as well.
Your bat cave's open there, Bill.
Bill Duran joining us all the way from the Pacific Northwest and the home of punishprops.com. Bill, welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hello.
Hope you had a good couple of weeks since we've seen you last.
I did. I didn't have COVID.
Oh, good.
So.
I'm glad. Are you still dodged it all this time? Still?
No, we got it in September, but I seem to have bounced back 100%. So
Good
I'm
job.
happy for that, and I'm hoping for the same for you.
Oh, that's right. You came back from Dragon Con with it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Now I remember that. I'm glad yours wasn't freaking heinous. I'm glad it was okay.
Yeah.
Everybody I know had something slightly different. I got a guy across the street that says that he hasn't had a solid poo since he had COVID.
Oh, no.
And that was a year ago.
Gosh.
So, yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know what that means or is. It's probably some other unrelated or exacerbated thing. I don't know, but I keep telling him, Bob, his name is Bob. You need to go get that looked at. I don't need no doctor
What's he
poking
been
around.
eating since COVID? Maybe there's something there that he's not telling us.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I'm equipped to diagnose you, Bob. You're going to have to go in there on your own.
I've just been eating nothing but spicy wings.
That's right. Spicy wing. That's normal after COVID, isn't it? Anyway, hey, Bill, it's good to have you back. Let's talk about what you're working on this week.
Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about AI-generated art.
Ooh, great. That's
Yeah.
an area of
It's a hot
discussion.
topic right now.
Yeah.
It is. I haven't done any dabbling myself, but I've been paying attention a lot. And I follow a lot of creative people who have been tinkering a bit with it. Now, of course, some people are very excited by the possibilities, and other people are worried that AI-generated art may make it harder for human artists to earn a living. So, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why it's being discussed so much. There's some concern.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you from certain artist circles that I hang out in, the big concern isn't that the robots are better or will be better. It's that people's standards will go lower and accept it because it's cheaper. In other words,
right.
like,
for free, I can generate this illustration that I kind of want for my website instead of paying an illustrator to do it. And it's kind of good. So I guess, I'll do that.
yeah, that's
Right.
exactly it right there. And I think that's where people have some concerns, and it's just like a overall lowering of the standards
Sure, yeah.
as a cause
And
of that.
it's a valid concern. I'll get to that in a minute, but I have a few other things I want to outline too. I think people don't quite understand how much of an impact AI has had on art already, and how much it's used to enhance art already. So, for example, if you have an iPhone, if you take a photo with that iPhone, and take a photo, then immediately go to the camera roll and look at the photo, and it'll change. The photo will sharpen a tiny bit, and you can actually see it happening on your phone. It's processing your photo with artificial intelligence.
Right.
It's making it look a little better compared to whatever Apple thinks makes a better photo.
The way I understand it is that it's taking 9 shots or some number of shots really quickly, like bam, 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 and then AI is choosing which one looks the clearest and the best.
Right. It does additional processing on top of that.
It does that too. Okay, gotcha.
And then also things like websites, apps, cameras. So if you post a photo on Facebook, let's say, there's a button you can push that's basically like, make this look better. Photo apps on your phone and websites, they all have some version of this where it's basically taking a photo you already took and it's processing it to make it look better. I also use apps like Lightroom and other photo processing apps that do things like masking or effects or restoration effects using AI. And Adobe's Content Aware Fill is another really good example of how this has been used for a long time to enhance or add to a creative project. So I think it's important to point out that AI generated art is new, but AI has been doing its thing in art for a long time.
Yeah, and it's part of what you're seeing now is the result of that machine learning, because every time, so you just mentioned, the phone kind of picks the best shot and picks the best settings and whatever. You're part of that neural learning process. So that very photo is part of its system of saying, hey, we did another one, and also we learned a little something because Brian had a weird glint in his eye in this photo or whatever.
Right.
And then that machine learning is taken forward to the next one and the next one. This stuff's like, it's cumulative over time, which is why a lot of the art generation stuff you see kind of has a samey look to it.
Right.
It's all like kind of the same. It's because these things are amalgamating from all the same sources and all the same existing art, and then they're pooping it out in a very similar way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Plus, you'll notice that none of them have traffic lights and crosswalks in them because robots can't identify those things.
No, or buses.
Or buses, or tractors.
Buses. Tractors are pretty good.
I love how it tries to generate text.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I think it's cool. I think it looks like an alien language.
It does, yeah. I did that
Funny.
avatarme.ai or avatarai.me. I can't remember which it is. And a few of them are Grand Theft Auto inspired. And it tries to do a weird Grand Theft Auto logo that looks like some sort of alien, like it looks like Arabish or Arabash, whatever the Star Wars font, the text is.
Font,
is it Arabash? Yeah.
Yeah. And it does it all effed. It's effed. It doesn't
It's all effed. It's weird, but
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. And they also can't do hands. It's the weirdest thing. Like they cannot figure out.
Yeah, by the
fingers.
way, if you thought humans were already struggled with hands, because we do, drawing hands is hard. Computers also have a really hard time drawing hands.
Thanks, Icor. Arabesh. Okay.
Arabesh? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's actually kind of cool. We're going through this era where AI generated art is struggling with a few things, and it will get better. But right now, it's like you're describing something to an alien who barely speaks the language and has never been to Earth.
Yeah.
You know, who's never seen a human being or hands before, and you have to kind of explain it to him, and he's like, "Okay, I'll draw it."
Yeah.
So it's kind of a neat time to be seeing this stuff happen.
Right.
Now, all the time, whenever I see something that's controversial, I try and find a historical context. And I like to compare what's happening right now to what happened with painters and photographers in the late 1800s.
Yeah.
So painters were worried that this newfangled tech, photography, would replace them because the camera could do what they do, which is replicate reality, right? In a much quicker time, like staggeringly quicker. So the way artists responded is they invented French Impressionism. Those painters instead went on to make paintings that you couldn't create with a camera, and it led to an era of unprecedented creativity. And I can see something similar happening now with AI art. People going, "Oh, it's cool that you can just type text and make an image." But as a human being, what can I do that the machine can't do? What can I bring to the project that a machine can't do? And people value that stuff, and I think they will always value that stuff.
I agree, and especially in that context, the bigger fear that people have is that there's a lot of in between middle work that's being done right now by artists. So, you know, if you're going to have an illustration for your article on Newsweek.com, they're going to contract you. You're going to do this image. They're going to approve it. They're going to pay you, and that's how your contract life works. If suddenly a computer can do all the middle work and not just the inspiring fringy stuff like French Impressionism, but everything in the middle, this like workaday stuff, that does kind of go away.
Sure,
in theory. Like one of the best examples I heard was, and this is already happening, and happening in such a way that you wouldn't even know it's happening. But if you are a small company making a computer-based RPG, you want to make a top-down kind of Baldur's Gate sort of game. Back in the day, you would have to contract or license 50, 60 art portraits for character portraits. And if you were working with Wizards of the Coast, maybe you already had all those because you've already paid for all that art. But if you're starting young and you're just a new company, you have to pay to make all of these individual things. Here's a barbarian. Here's that same barbarian with a patch on his eye. Here's a lady. Here's an elf. Here's a whatever. And so that's just the way that was. It was an expensive proposition for the developers. Now there are tools for them to literally have that done in about 5 minutes and fill 100 slots of very diverse, interesting, stylized, painterly looking character portraits in like a snap. Why wouldn't you do that? Of course you would. I would if I were them. 100% I would do that. And so now there's this middle ground where these artists don't have that opportunity. It's that stuff I worry about more than the, more than like, hey, will artists go away? Absolutely not. 100% not. In fact, will they have a bit of a resurgence because of their style is more valued or what? Probably, again, on those fringes. But what about that everyday stuff? I don't know about that yet. It's hard to say.
Yeah. The example I was thinking of too. So my recommended video today is going to be a video from our friend Jazza, where he hired people on Fiverr to make art for him, and then he basically compared them and what he paid to what an AI could do.
Yeah.
So if you're making art every day, doing small projects for people like on Fiverr, then yeah, AI art is going to be a struggle for you to compete against. I have some really fun speculation. I'd like to just throw some predictions out into the world about AI art.
Go for it.
So I could actually see this leading to a resurgence in hand-drawn art, right? Pen and paper. There's no computer involved. I think there are going to be people that will always value that tactile thing. And I could see this actually leading to a resurgence.
It's kind of like a backlash of this, leading to more. Sure.
I can see that. It's
and there are people that are, I'm not like emotional about AI art, but there are a lot of people that are that feel affronted by this thing and want to lean really hard in the other direction.
There's a whole other issue at stake, which is not necessarily related to what you're talking about, but there is this thing of the machines are, in terms of outputting like painterly or stylistic art, the machine learning is happening on top of actual artists. And so a lot of these generators are like, would you like to see this in the style of Alex Ross? Would you like to see this in the style of so-and-so or whatever? And so they're learning based on, in some cases, 50, 60-year careers of these artists, and they're getting nothing for this.
Yeah.
Right.
So in essence, we're creating a supercomputer that can copy these people, but without the ethics block that normal people would be stopped for copying people. So there's that issue. I think it's probably not, that's not like gigantic or omnipresent or anything, because as much as I can understand why people are freaked out about this digging into their creative space and resenting it, I do understand those feelings. I think in the end, it's going to be more practical usage that you don't normally get with an artist. And that means some of the stuff I talked about earlier, but also, what's it like? It's like, Tom always brings this up. It's like Lotus 123 when it happened. Every accountant on the planet thought their job was going to go away, and instead it created a ton of new ones. And I don't know if this is, this isn't a one-to-one comparison to that, but almost always this is how things go. It'll evolve, and we'll move on to something else. When it was paper to digital, whether it was typesetting to desktop publishing, whatever these transitions are, we usually weather it. But this is one of those cases where I get, people who spend 90 hours on a piece and a computer can study their work and now poop something out similar in 5.5 minutes. That's really disconcerting to them.
Yeah, that is definitely concerning.
Yeah.
A couple more things real quick, though. I do think there are a ton of upsides to AI-generated art, and I think it'll be used effectively, especially as a tool early in the development of creative projects for especially small teams. Or even teams of one, like a developer is making a video game all on their own, like you were saying, they can just grab a bunch of art, even if it's just a placeholder. It'll let them move forward with the project.
Right.
And then finally, when it comes to the idea of a craft, let's say, being put out to pasture by a technology, I think it's important to point out that there are still people today who make a living with things like printing presses and making stained glass or blacksmithing or tin type photography.
Sure.
They are niche, right? These are small cottage industries, but people still make a living doing that, no matter how archaic their craft is. So if you're creative, you will always be able to find a way to make a living with your art. But this AI art might force you to be a lot more creative.
I have a couple of artist friends who like it because they can do, basically it's used as a sketch tool. So you sit down and you type in a string like cliffs and oceanside, whatever, whatever your scene is you're coming up with.
It's like a hyper advanced Google image search.
Kind of,
you can find literally anything.
And then that'll pop up and they're like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to make some tweaks here, but this is going to be the basis for what I do. And then it's all manual process from there. They're just doing it like any other reference image. I think a lot of that will happen, and that's, and nothing wrong with that. I have at least one drawing in my stuff from the last few months that was inspired by one of these quick, DALL-E searches or something. And I went, I kind of like how that dude looks. I'm going to make a bigger version of that. So I think that can happen. I'm cautiously optimistic. We're going to hear from people who are like, this is the worst thing ever to happen to art. And we're going to hear from people that are like, yeah, man, computers solve all our problems. But I think there's probably, like most things, some stuff in the middle, And we'll come together as men and we'll figure it out. Okay. That's what we're going to do.
We'll do it.
That's awesome, dude. And I also like I don't want to just let this flop past. I like your desire when you hear about a controversial technology or a controversial change to the way something works or whatever, is to look for historical precedents. I love doing that.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
And I know my stuff too. I took U.S. history 3 times.
Damn, dude. Look at you. That's awesome. No, I follow some dude on Twitter who I absolutely love this guy, and I can never remember his name, so I can never recommend it when I'm on the air. But all he does is this. So if something's controversial at the moment, let's say somebody thinks COVID-19 shots are the reason why people died or something dumb, he'll just find old news clippings and he'll work backwards. Here's from the outbreak of SARS in the early 2000s and what everybody was saying then, and you'd be surprised how much we freaking repeat ourselves.
Yeah.
And then again it happened here, and then he's all the way back into the 1800s, as like far back as he can go, and he's still finding this stuff. So it's usually things like kids in video games. So then he'll go find stuff like, okay, well, kids in comics, kids in TV, kids in movies, kids in, going all the way back to kids in their damn cave drawings, basically. And I love that.
I read an article, someone was pointing out all these news clippings over the last 100 years of people saying how Seattle isn't cool anymore. People have been saying that for 100 years.
It's part of what makes it cool, it continues to be cool because people badmouth it, so then it's cool again. I like it. I like it. And we think you're cool, Bill. Tell us more about this week's bonus link. You probably got something there.
Yeah. Like I said, a link to our friend Jazza, illustrator out of Australia. He did a video where he, like I said, hired people on Fiverr to make stuff, and then he tried to get the same thing out of his AI art. And I think it's very interesting, the results he got.
Interesting.
Awesome.
And we followed this dude before. You bring him up a lot. This guy's great.
Oh, yeah. Jazz
cool.
is very much on top of what's going on in art and illustration.
I think it's good to be. It's good to know this stuff if you're in that world and not just hide in the corner with your sketchbook and hope it all goes away, because it probably isn't going to. Awesome. Well, great stuff as always. PunishProps.com is the place to go. Check out Bill's stuff and his YouTube channel, of course. Don't skip on that. Bill Duran, have a fantastic week, and thanks for adjusting your schedule today. We appreciate it.
Not a problem. See you guys.
See you, man.
Thanks. See you, Bill.
Bye, Bill.
Bye.
Bye, Bill. Bye, Bill. All right, we got a quick email, and we're out of here after this. Actually, I think this might be a text. Doesn't matter. Here it is. Hey, Skin and Bald. That's okay. I guess I have skin, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Although,
I do too, though.
I didn't bring this up on the show before, but this has happened now. In 2008, it happened when I had that horrible flu that lasted like 12 days, fever, all that. It happened one other time when I was younger, and then this last week with COVID. This stuff affects my hair. So like my hair's a little thinner everywhere, and my beard kind of stopped growing. It's just stuck where it was, and it feels a little weird. So I think Kim's like, it's probably because you got proteins and stuff in your hair, and if your body, it's like when people get severely sick and they come out of it with alopecia, that happens. Mm-hmm. It's like that.
Like your body is fighting this thing, and it's using the resources that normally would go towards producing follicles.
Yeah, something like that. And I think that's what's happening. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do to reverse it, but I don't like it. Everything feels weird. My hair feels weird.
It'll go back to normal, I'm sure.
Yeah, I hope so.
When it's ready. It's hardly the worst side effect.
No, I'll take it. I'll take this over like heart valve damage.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Anyway, hey, Skin and Bald. I hope you and Kim are getting better. I feel for you. Thanks. My wife and I had COVID, or were COVID-free until about 6 weeks ago when I started getting a headache on a Sunday night, and we both tested positive on the following Tuesday. It was rough, and I had like sinus pressure in my head that my left jaw for weeks until it finally subsided.
Yeah, pressure in his head and his left jaw for weeks until
that read weird to me, but you're absolutely right. We're okay now, and I hope you will be soon. Thanks, your friend Tony in Buffalo. Well, thank you, Tony. That's very nice.
Ooh, for weeks after having COVID. Oh, God.
But I keep hearing about, I feel like well, whatever. I don't want to knock on, here. There's some wood.
Yeah.
The taste and smell thing's supposed to, a lot of people, it lasts a long time. I'm already smelling way better and tasting way better. So.
Oh, good. That Dr. Pepper Zero you were just drinking does not taste like hand lotion?
No, it's not like lotion anymore.
Okay, good.
Let me see. I mean, hints of lotion, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, but better than yesterday when you were saying it tasted like lotion.
Yeah, and also next time Hints of Lotion goes to Anaheim, you should go for that concert as well. Hints of Lotion is awesome.
love Hints of Lotion. Hopefully they're the headliner, not the opening act.
Yeah, well, you get an hour and a half either way. Watch for the dancing people in front of you. Let's move on to this. Oh, shows today. Today we got the Play Retro at 3:30 Mountain Time. Yeah. After being put off a week, it is back. And we're doing all things Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 in particular, as they are the most retro of the group. But we'll talk a little bit about the upcoming 3 and what I think of that. Anyway, that'll be today at 3:30 Mountain Time right here at frogpants.tv. Check out me and Brian Dunaway on a new episode of Play Retro. Brian, you got any shows going on or anything today we should mention?
Today, I think I might actually do a Marvel Snap live stream for a little bit.
You should do it right after. You should do it right after the show because I have a meeting and I can't do anything on the post show. So you should do it right then, and we'll just raid you.
Possibly.
Oh, unless you have stuff, I don't want to assume. But because then we could raid you.
Yeah, actually, I might be free. I don't know if Red Fraggle's free, but
well, if you do, I'll raid you live on the show, and then you'll have everybody just move over. We'll do that.
Okay.
Unless you're using YouTube, you're not using YouTube, right?
Nope, I'm using Twitch.
Okay.
I'm twitching, Scott. I'm twitching.
You're over there twitching? Sweet.
Yeah.
What else? That's it. Frog Pants. Oh, patreon.com/TMS is our patron site. Please go there. We need it more than ever. It's a great time to survive, support.
It's a great time to be alive.
Your favorite morning show. There's no better way to do it than to sign up over there. Do it today. Thanks everybody who already has. We're now going to get out of here, but we need music to get out. So what do you got there?
How about a song? And this one, man, I love hearing from Icor, but man, I hate hearing about this stuff. Kevin Chu wrote in. Icor says, "Hey, sodium and bicarbonate." By the way, just sent Icor one of these guys right here. Oh, hello.
Oh, very nice.
Hello.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, I gotta paint. That's another thing I need to do. I need to paint that Jack Nicholson thing. I showed that on stream yesterday, didn't I?
No, I don't think so. Did you?
Okay.
I don't remember.
Ooh, I might. Well, I'll do it after. I'll do it post show.
Okay.
Because let's get to Kevin's request.
Sure.
Hey, sodium and bicarbonate. Sorry for the late request, but November 14th was my birthday. Hopefully, you can play this on or close to it. We're only a week late. I haven't made a big deal about this, but it's been a rough couple of months. My sister and all of her kids were killed in a car accident a few months ago.
Jeez.
I know, man. So hard. It's been hard on the family, especially my parents. I've been holding up okay, and TMS is always a good place for me to escape to. If you could play Come Undone by Adrenaline Mob, of course the original by Duran Duran, that would be cool. Not only does it have the lyrics Happy Birthday to You in it, but Duran Duran was also a band that my sister was into back in the day. Thanks for all you do to make the world a more enjoyable place by testing the ship's phasers. Signed, Kevin.
I had no idea, Kevin. That is horrible.
I know, he hasn't said anything. Like, he and I have been chatting back and forth about this, this 3D print and all this other stuff, and it's like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I know. I talk to that dude every day. I guess he just hasn't said anything, and I don't blame him, but that's hardcore. Oh my gosh.
Really hard. Yeah.
Really sorry, man.
We're all giving you one big virtual hug right now, Icor, and
Jeez.
So sorry to hear about all that. All right, let's get to it. From their album Omerta from 2012, here is Adrenaline Mob and their cover of Duran Duran's Come Undone.
Sounds great. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Come back then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I good you bid evening.
Oh, all right. Man, that's dark.
Let me grab, yeah, no kidding. One sec here.
All right, no worries. Okay. Sheesh.